Hello there. It is, what time? 11:24 p.m. on the 6th of June 2020. I am in the prefab Purehabu studio. And I'm kind of tired, but I think I should probably ramble for a minute. Today I went on a little adventure into the city, and of course that involves wearing a mask and hand sanitizer in your bag, social distancing, being aware of everybody on the train. Are we all 6 feet apart? I hope so. It's it's interesting. It's gotten hot. I have a mosquito incense coil burning up here. Don't worry, it's at a safe distance. And maybe you can hear all the maybe you can hear my friends. Anyways, so what was I saying? Yeah, on my way to the station, I ran into my friend over by the river again, and she gave me 2 cucumbers this time and showed me the orchids that were growing in her house and introduced me to someone who had a question about English. Sometimes those questions are really challenging because, you speak English and you go, wait, why do we do that? What's the grammar rule? I was trying to remember how to speak Japanese. What happened? So anyways, get on the train and I found out about a paper store in the city, and it happened to be right across from Atsuta Jingu, the shrine that's super famous for having a sword that is sacred to people who observe Shinto, and I believe it belongs to the emperor's family. So I'd walked through there at night on accident one time a few years ago. Oops. Not fun, but this time it was daylight, and it was different. The buildings are really beautiful. Everything is made of hinoki wood, and it smells wonderful. And you could see the miko, the girls, wearing the vermilion hakama and the white blouse, and they were doing their work, and could see the priests doing their thing, and many people were queuing. Well, not many, it was enough people were carefully queuing to the place where they could, I guess, maybe pray to the spirit of the sword. And it was very interesting to observe all of this. So I walked through the complex and rounded a corner and found the paper store, and it was really nice and big, and there were all kinds of paper in there. Just anything you could possibly imagine, any color, any print. Just so fun to look at. But I was on a mission. So I get in there and ask somebody for the kind of paper I was looking for. Ooh-wee. Yeah, this is going to be really fun. Oh. Yeah, this will be very fun, and I want to learn how to use it properly. Ooh. Yeah. What have I been thinking about lately? I started running really early in the morning because that's the time when you do it here. And me just say that morning time is so different from afternoon as far as running goes. Like, just the amount of people that are still asleep, and I can pray and think and look at things and be more aware of what's going on around me. And that's been really exciting. And also, yeah, it makes me want to take more pictures, but some of the things I see, though, is a little bit more like Annie Dillard type interesting. That's not Instagram friendly. If you get my meanings, but it's exciting, or kind of scary. So let's say your best friend contacts you and says, "Hey, I want to do a Bible study." And you say, "Cool, I can't wait. Tell me what it is." And then they tell you, "We're going to be reading a book called The Chastening of the Lord. You down?" What do you say? Do you say, "Oh, that sounds so exciting, I can't wait. I want to learn more about suffering again. Please." Yeah, what do you do? I kind of feel like, as someone who has grown up in America during the 80s and 90s, maybe my theology just by default has been somewhat skewed in a way that you think that if you're doing the right things and obeying God, and that that everything's gonna go well, and that if you have some sort of goal or desire of your heart, that it'll all work out. It'll come together. And if it doesn't, that means, well, you sinned. Yeah, I feel like that kind of mindset has really limited my understanding historically of what God can do with suffering, or that He can actually use chastening, and that it's not necessarily something that you did to deserve it. Sometimes God chooses to allow, or to put you in a furnace to purify, or to refine, or to shape you in a sense that will create an outcome, a desired result that otherwise would not be there. I've been thinking, as we've been doing that study, about the ways in which God has chastened me, or directed my life, or told me no, or in ways I've experienced pain, or lack. It does create something else, something that wouldn't otherwise be there. And the thing that has really got us, at least this past week, was thinking about Jacob and Esau, and how while Jacob had struggled, a lot. Esau didn't have any of that. God left him alone. And that's scary. Do you really want to be living a life where God just lets you do whatever? That was the thoughts that came to mind when we were in the study, maybe early March, where everyone was just on the cusp of all this, and there was a moment where everyone could choose to engage or disengage however they felt they needed to at that time. And yeah, it's really interesting seeing how things are coming together and the fruit of those moments. And for myself and my community and what I'm seeing with people I know, and where we're going and what we're choosing. And yeah, I'm here in Japan and I'm so far away from home in some ways. Okay, so here's a bit from the book I'm reading. God chastens to grant us greater entrance into the vast storehouses of His holiness. We'll find depths of intimacy with Jesus that were opened only through chastening. Holiness is beautiful, intimate, fiery, and highly desirable. It bestows authority. This explains why chastening is part of the process of bringing us into higher authority in the kingdom. The chastening is necessary so that we might properly steward the greater authority that comes with the higher office. I wonder what that means. They disciplined us a short time, as it seemed best to them, but He disciplined us for our good so that we may share His holiness. For the moment, all discipline seems painful rather than pleasant, but later it yields the peaceful fruit of righteousness to those who have been trained by it. Therefore lift your drooping hands and strengthen your weak knees, and make straight paths for your feet, so that what is lame may not be put out of joint, but rather be healed. Strive for peace with everyone, and for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled. That no one is sexually immoral or unholy like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. For you know that afterward, when he desired to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no chance to repent, though he sought it with tears. Man. The intensity of the trial will throw you into one of two opposite responses. Either you'll press into him with fiery abandonment, become hot, or you'll be offended and pull back from his embrace, become cold. It will be impossible to remain lukewarm in the middle ground. Jesus warned that in the last days, the love of many will grow cold, Matthew 24:12. In such a spiritual climate, what could be more merciful and compassionate than for him to visit us with his chastening rod? In the fiery trial, we have opportunity to buy from Jesus gold refined in the fire, which is, in one word, Christ-likeness. So you can pray to that end.